Knox County right now. I have come from this community. My first Farragut Concord Republican Club meeting was in 1980. I wasn't old enough to vote for Reagan then, but Wayne Sellers was the president, and so it's comes full circle back. I went to Farragut High School. I went to the University of Tennessee undergraduate, got a degree in psychology and political science. I went to the University of Tennessee College of Law and got my degree there. I took the bar exam in Tennessee, and I took the bar exam in Missouri because I had an opportunity to work there for a year. And I've worked in law firms in Knoxville for a total of 33 years, solo practice as well. I've been the judicial magistrate and a judicial commissioner for 8 years, and my term expires in 3 years from now. I have got an interest in serving our community. I've been in Knoxville for more than 50 years. I have family that lives in Farragut. I have other family that lives has lived in Knoxville. And we all care about being safe in our homes. We care about our judicial system being fair to all the people who participate, not just the judges, not just the lawyers, but the people who are there defending themselves, the people who are there defending themselves against criminal charges, the people who are there because they don't even know why they're there, because they're mentally ill. They may be impaired in some way with drugs, which happens so much in our community these days. And I know the sheriffs will probably be addressing that at some point as well. Our jail is full of people who don't know why they're there because they are not cognizant of being able to make choices. And they find themselves in a jail situation, and then we have to provide them with a whole judicial system which doesn't treat their illness, it doesn't treat their addiction, and leaves them owing court costs and trying to function. I have a lot of experience. Like I said, as an attorney, I was an insurance defense attorney when I started. I went into creditor work in bankruptcy and in the General Sessions Court. I've represented landlords and tenants for 33 years in that court. I have done a lot of work in all parts of East Tennessee, but been with, in front of dozens of judges. And one of the things in common with that the best judges have is that they know how to listen. When somebody goes to court, it's an important day for them. Most people don't do that on a regular basis. There's a few exceptions, but most people don't have to go on a regular basis, and they need to be heard. And I think that's one of the attributes that I have. My personality is fairly patient. I can be soft-spoken, but I can also raise my voice if necessary. But people deserve to have their chance. They want to be able to be heard for everything they need to say. Sometimes it's not the best choice of things for them to say, but nonetheless, they're entitled to say it. If they want to say it, they have the right to do that. And I think that people need to feel like that they are heard there. They need to understand the process better. General Sessions Court receives the most number of people on a constant basis. They have the people who have the small claims in civil court, people who are trying to collect on a debt, people who had a small car accident and they need to get their car repaired, landlord tenants who are arguing about who has to be evicted and how much rent they owe and damages and so forth. They also hear the cases in civil court that can sometimes involve recovering personal property that might have been stolen that for some reason hasn't been taken care of in the criminal justice system. But most of the time the General Sessions Court is handling criminal cases. They do the initial hearings for most of all the criminal cases. As a magistrate, we do the initial hearing if there's a probable cause to issue an arrest warrant. So that's the first stop on the process, going all the way through until there's a final conviction or a finding that there was no finding of guilt. But right now, that's where you start at in General Sessions Court. A lot of the people in General Sessions Court don't have attorneys. The civil cases as well as the criminal cases sometimes. Sometimes people want to represent themselves, and once again, they have the right to do so. But a lot of times it's probably not a good idea. But like I said, we want everybody to be heard. We want everybody to know what's going on. And if anybody has any questions about General Sessions Court, I would be happy to answer those questions. But in the meantime, I'm running against a candidate in the Republican primary now. We're both running for the same position. And I would appreciate your support, your prayers, and your vote. And God bless America.